My music. Fuck.
That's one Tara's
That's
show theme
another
song, but
show.
not
All right.
the
Let's
Tara
do
show.
boom.
There it is. There it is now. This is the theme to the Tara show. It doesn't have words, so we make them all up. Hey, everybody, it's the Tara show. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's Dublin and Devlin. Boom goes the dynamite with TNT. Boom! Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's June 3rd. Hey, what's up? I haven't seen you in June yet, partner.
I know. What a June it's been so far.
She'll change her tune.
What a
You know that
Junie
song
June.
by Simon? Do you know that song "April Come She Will" by Simon and Garfunkel?
Maybe if,
So it
if I
starts.
heard it,
It's like,
maybe.
April, come she will, when streams are ripe and swelled with rain. And then it's
Oh, very
May, she will stay. And then it's June, she'll change her tune. And then
June.
there's a July, August, and September. So basically, it's about a short-lived romance. And it was featured in the movie The Graduate.
Okay.
So
It's been a while.
yeah, so basically by
Since
the
I
time
heard.
they get to September, I'll remember a love once new has now grown old. And that's when Benjamin jumps out from the pool and onto the floaty, but then onto Mrs. Robinson. It's a great,
Oh.
it's a great edited sequence. If you've never seen The Graduate, I
A
think they
long
kick
time
you out of
ago.
America for that.
Yeah.
But
I saw it in
do you know,
film
I-
school or whatever, my
I
communications.
know, well, I can't say
class.
that because I'm pretty sure my son's girlfriend hasn't seen it. But also, my son's girlfriend is one of those people who hasn't seen movies that a lot of people have seen. Like she had never seen Raiders of the Lost Ark
Oh.
or like most of the Star Wars movies or any. Like she hadn't watched a lot of things. Like she's just not into the pop culture thing. She's more
Yeah.
like, I'm just doing my
I
life
get
and
it.
living my. And my son was like, "You've never seen Goodfellas?" So
Oh. Well,
and
she's
my-
got a
my
lot
son
to
is-
catch up on.
it's so cute, actually. And what I love about this, and we'll get to politics in a second, but it's a good point that if you have somebody in your life to do stuff with, I'm happy for you. Like I'm bitterly single and will be forever, and that's fine. But watching my son, who's 26, and his girlfriend, who's about gonna turn 26 later this year, they love each other so much, and
That's
they're so
nice.
sweet and adorable together, and they go out and do things all the time, and they don't let
always
anything
good.
prevent them. Right, the rain doesn't stop them; they'll still go out, and he rides his bike for 50 miles, and they go on hikes, and they do fun stuff in the summertime, like they go to the all you can pick berry places and pick berries, and then go home and make things with the berries, and they go and do paint your own. They just do all of this fun stuff
Well,
together.
that's what you're supposed
And
to
my
do with people. Go ahead.
Exactly my point. Before we get into the shitty fuckery, oops, sorry, I cursed in the first 5
It's
minutes.
your
But
fine.
anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
I forgive
Before
you
we get into
permission.
the garbage fire, I want everybody to think about something that they enjoy in life and don't stop doing it. Just don't. Like tonight I have literally don't stop. I have my low bar chorale tonight, which is where we get together in a bar or venue every couple of weeks and sing contemporary songs with a live band in 3-part harmony. It's the greatest thing in the entire world, and I have a bunch of those videos on my Instagram, which you should check out. Tower Dublin Rocks 1, the number 1. But anyway, tonight is all Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, that's
So-
nice.
Oh, I'm so excited. And what I love about doing our low bar chorale, which I encourage you to watch the videos, please, if you love music especially, and everybody does. When we have these special theme shows, people get into it and they dress up, and I'm excited because I have a Stevie Nicks adjacent drapey thing with
Oh, that's cool.
fringe. And I will share pictures on my socials. But basically, there's going to be a lot of twirling, witchy like twirling
Yeah, it has to be.
tonight for sure. Maybe we can like be a coven of our own and sort of banish the evil
You
that's
gotta.
trying to take over. So where to begin? Oh, wait a minute, it's Taco Tuesday. Let's
that's right,
begin there,
Tuesday.
shall we?
Yeah, why
Oh,
not?
MAGA's so mad. They're so mad about this taco thing because there's nothing they can do about it. And they're so mad. They're so mad that every time one of us shares a taco meme, they're like, you're the left can't meme. And it's like,
The
yeah, we
left
can,
can
bitch.
meme. We created the memes. Are you
we-
kidding me? We are the memes. The boss
We
memes.
can't meme, but
The meme
we
bosses.
can't meme, but we can really trigger you. We can
Yeah,
still
the
trigger
left
you
can't
with this
meme.
meme game.
What is wrong with
I
that?
want you to know.
Their memes are
Oh, see, I'm
gross.
pixelating again. Hey, friends, I just want you to know that Verizon is sending me a new router. so that maybe we'll be able to be more streamlined and I won't look like I'm coming at
You're
you behind
fine.
a lean lens or whatever's happening. I don't know. But anyway, it's just um tacos are delicious, and it also coincidentally happens to be Portland Taco Week. And if you remember your history, we were promised taco trucks on every corner, were we
Ah,
not?
we were?
Remember?
No.
In the Hillary Clinton campaign times, we were promised.
Who
We were
promised
pro
it? I don't
it was
remember this.
well, the Republican Party said if you vote for Hillary Clinton, there'll be an
Oh, that's
immigration,
right.
flood, and there'll be taco trucks on every corner, and Democrats were like, "Fuck yeah, let's do that. I
Yeah.
want
Oh,
taco trucks on
okay.
every corner." And in Portland, I would posit it basically is almost like that. This is food truck heaven here in Portland, and
Yeah, there's
taco
nothing wrong
trucks,
with
I would
good
say,
tacos. My
make up the
God.
highest percentage of people. And this is being Portland Taco Week. The taco joints were already going to see some extra business because their specialty tacos are only $5 a pop, but they're going to make extra bank this week.
Right. That's
Extra,
true.
extra bank. Now that we have taco in the vernacular forever. This
Right.
one is going to stick to him like a sticky chalupa wrapper that got
Yeah.
stuck to his big dumb shoe.
And
Is what it is.
he-
Memes. The
he's got
memes,
no
the
one.
creativity.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's just like I wrote yesterday for the Political Voices Network Substack, which I hope you're all subscribed to. Taco trumps on every corner.
Yes.
Is basically that was the title. I'm going to pat myself on the back because I love a pun and I love taking opportunity when I can. I don't care if it makes us look juvenile and silly. What it does is makes them upset. And
Yeah.
anything that embarrasses Trump is fine by me. And sometimes when they go low and us going high, these memes are us going high. It's elevated work. It's
Mhm.
clever. It's
Right.
thoughtful.
Well,
It's
it
peop
proves who he is.
it's not just, "Oh, I'm Elon and I'm gonna put a crown on my head." No,
Right.
it's you're King Henry the ate all the tacos, and that's why you're wearing a crown of tacos, holding a scepter with a taco on the top of it. I love it.
Yes.
I love
And
it so much, because that's how you have to meet the MAGA, right? You have to
right.
meet them where at the things that they care about, because
Well,
they're gonna still deflect on a lot of
yes.
stuff, you know.
And
So
they wait a minute. Let me say something, please. I'm sorry. I keep trying to
What?
say something. But
No, I know.
it is the fact
I'm
that
sorry.
he created this, and it is more than just the taco thing, and I appreciate that, but it is emblematic of of his fundamental unfitness, because all he had to do was brush it off with like Hillary Clinton brushed off 8 hours of being grilled by very underwhelming men like Trey Gowdy, and she got that. She got her meme is I could take this, no sweat, and his is
Right.
you're a baby little bitch that is
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
triggered. So it just goes. That's why all he had to do was say, "Oh, that's a clever nickname, haha," and move on, and it would never have
But he can't
have
do that.
stuck. He can't do that. He's
You
a
know why?
moron.
You know why? It's besides the fact that he's a moron, is that he has no sense of humor about himself.
Yes.
Because he's not smart. Only smart people can have a sense of
That's
humor.
true.
And then truly smart people can have a sense of humor about themselves. I certainly do. You certainly
That's
do.
true.
Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the perfect example of someone who has a great sense of humor about himself. And I talked about this on Hal's show yesterday, because when the Let's Go Brandon thing happened,
Oh, right.
and then it was
That's
dark,
right.
and then
You're
we
right.
just
You're
were
right.
like, well, dark Brandon rose,
Yes.
Brandon rose, and he embraced it.
He owned it.
He understood what it meant, and he reclaimed it, and he made it his own. And they lost any power with the name Brandon.
That's
'Cause
right.
we took it.
That's
we have
right.
right. We took that
That's
from
what you
them.
do.
Just like we're gonna take. That's what you do. This is where you meet them. Where if they embrace something that is so unbearably stupid, you take it from them in a smart way,
Yes.
right? So anybody, and that's why Joe Biden showed up at every White House Correspondents' Dinner during his presidency, because he has an excellent sense of humor about himself, and he'll be the first one to make fun of himself.
Yeah,
When he fell
very
off the
true.
bike, he made fun of himself. And he's the one who allowed himself to be seen as a fallible human being while in office. He admitted to making mistakes and hoped to learn from them, which he repeatedly said. Donald Trump is incapable of any level of self-reflection in that way. And so
because
people who are not
he
intelligent,
knows
people who are bullies, can't laugh it off. And I commend our CNBC Shiro, Megan Casella, because she has created something and she has done something that's been very difficult for a lot of people on the left to do, which is make something stick to Trump that makes him look bad.
Right.
Because we've tried repeatedly, and he has been able to, Teflon Don, been able to brush off a lot of things like being a convicted felon with a mugshot, being an adjudicated rapist who owes E. Jean Carroll millions of dollars still. There's a lot of things that they have been able to brush off, but there are a couple of things that they're not going to be able to get rid of. One is the literal taco stain. That shit is going to stick to their fingers forever. And this Palantir thing is also, they're not happy about that. Right. They are not happy about that. They do not want Peter Thiel to have any of their personal information. They do not want gay Nazi Peter Thiel creating a national database where we all have to register, not just our names and addresses, but our faces as well. MAGA didn't want that. It's pretty sure they don't want that. They're mad about that. They're mad about Ukraine also. They're very mad about that.
Well, so it just goes to show you that traitor Trump is not. He knows deep down that he is a fraud. That's why he's also easily triggered, and that's why Joe Biden can brush off the criticism. Hillary Clinton, and I mean, just Freud, Psych 101, is you cannot, if you can't let an insult, so-called insult, roll off your back, that's because you believe it. You know that you are a chicken, that you're a coward, and his malignant narcissism will not allow him to even think of the idea, or even, just entertain the idea that everyone knows as well, that what he knows deep down inside, and it's not that deep, because he is not that deep. He has he's a greed-centered, malignant narcissist. That's his personality. Greed and that black hole of need and greed is where a personality should be. Really, that's it. That's his personality.
Yes.
He is a gaping black hole. And he knows that. I mean, that's it. He knows what a fraud he is. And everybody who is not a lickspittle, sycophant, and who is capable of being who has a spine, they know that. When I was just watching a video of somebody who was working with him in the last maladministration, who was not a complete maggot, and one of the leftovers of the Republicans who weren't completely treasonous. And he said, if you talk to him for 5 minutes, you know he's a complete moron. And that's it. He does nothing. He knows nothing. He's been a moron his entire life. And that the only thing he has is he's got no, it's like any sociopath. He's got no, concern or empathy for anyone else. And he's completely rapaciously greedy. That's it.
And he's fully uninterested in doing the job. And he's made that abundantly clear. And we're learning, he's only gotten his daily briefing maybe a dozen times since January 20th. It's literally the most important thing that the president, and you always put an asterisk or quotes around his name because I don't use that word in connection with him, but it's what the president is supposed to see first thing every single day. Now, of course, he doesn't roll downstairs till about 11 because he lays in bed or sits on the toilet with his phone and posts bullshit like Joe Biden is a clone that died in 2020. I want to get back to that in a second.
Amazing.
But it's just what he wants them to do now is make him a little TV show every day. He wants a little Fox News briefing directed just to him every single day so that he doesn't have to read, because maybe he has no reading comprehension skills because he's a fucking moron with a bowl of rancid oatmeal wherever his pea brain used to be. And we're seeing him he is really losing it in real time. So that the media hasn't made the story about, Joe Biden is a clone That should be a humongous story because, again, if the shoe was on the other foot and Joe Biden told the
Right.
world that Donald
That's
Trump was
right.
a robot, I mean, imagine
That's how
the
the
response.
standards. There's absolutely it's no both sides. There are different
Right.
rules, not only rules, but a rule book for this
It's
parasite. And yeah, that's
it's
the
crazy.
media that has done that to us. Shame
It
on
is
them.
unconscionable that he has no concept of what's going on in the world on the daily. So people are asking if he's not getting his daily briefing every day, if he's not reading it, if he's pushing it to the side, what is he doing? And what he's doing is sitting on Truth Social bullshitting all day, sitting around waiting for
Yeah,
someone to go, "Okay, Papa, time to go golfy." And
that's it.
he is literally doing that. He is on the taxpayer's dime, sitting on his diapered ass, shitting himself, looking at his phone, and waiting until it's time to go home to Takalago and play some golf.
Yeah,
Seriously.
yeah, that's it.
That is what, and so it brings up the question: who exactly is running the country
Stephen
right
Miller.
now? Who's
Stephen Miller is
so
running it,
that's
and these maggots.
problematic?
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah, and
problematic all around, but him running the country is bad enough. He
right,
sucks, of course, on all measurable
right,
on every fathomable measure. But he never wanted to do the job. That's why he goes on about. Well, he wants them to play hail to the chief when he comes in the room. He wants them to kiss his ass. He wants to be bribed. He wants all the benefits. It's like Republicans in general. They want all the benefits
yeah,
of government, all the benefits of civilization, but none of the responsibilities that we have to each other. That's it. They
of course
want,
not.
they want Medicare. They want Social Security. They want the social safety net for themselves, just not others. They want
No,
FEMA to come to their rescue, but they'll happily cut it for
not ours.
others. Yeah, that's the
Correct.
truth. So, but
Well,
Trump's whole like send it to the states bullshit. He's been going on about this from the last maladministration when he was like,
mhm,
let the states find their own respirators, and that's why people were dying and running around with
right,
garbage bags as PPE.
right,
The great,
exactly.
I don't know, the golden days. That's what everybody wanted back. The golden
That is that
era.
when America was healthy and
Right,
great?
right.
Hey,
Isn't that amazing that people voted for
I
that
mean,
again?
I
It's
know,
me. It's propaganda. But go ahead.
well,
Yep.
come on, Tara, we're all gonna die. So
That's the
what does it
Republican
matter?
plan. That's the
What does it matter
policy.
when? What does it matter when or how
Right.
we die? We're all just gonna die. So why don't we just do it now? Why
Yeah.
don't we
Well, why?
hasten that death for you?
Yep.
Seems to be the Republican Party's platform these days,
It's
according to
always
Joni
been.
Ernst and
It's
Ashley Hinson.
always been.
Something's gone wrong with the Republican women of Iowa because both Ashley Hinson and Joni Ernst held town halls where they got resoundingly booed by their own constituents because they were like, "We're giving you this. No, you're not. You're gonna die. Well, fuck you."
I
Like
know.
that's not
Scums.
again. And you go back to what if a Democrat was like, "Well, we're all gonna die, so who cares?"
Oh, forget
That
it.
again,
Fox News would
again,
explode. It would. That's the
again.
disingenuousness. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Over and over we see this, and so it's kind of astonishing to me, like at this point I'm trying to understand what the MAGA cult is clinging to. What are they benefiting
Hate.
from?
Hate.
What do they get? So but you
Bigotry.
can't eat it.
I know, but that's what
That's not gonna pay your increased grocery bills, MAGA.
You're right. But
Your hate's not gonna pay for that. You're not gonna be able to own the
there's
libs
no.
because you're bankrupt
Well, even that
and starving.
itself is anti-pay. I always say when they go on about owning the libs, no one wants to own the libs or drink their tears, but enemies, America's enemies, want to drink the tears of their fellow Americans, and that includes maggots, right? I mean, I don't
What
want to drink
a
maggot
dumb thing
tears.
to say.
I
It's
want
just a
them to
dumb
have
thing.
health care, a job, living
Yeah,
wages.
yeah.
That's what we're
Like
fighting
Pete
for.
Buttigieg said. That whole thing
Exactly.
that Pete Buttigieg said that went viral. And we've talked about this on our show. I've talked about this on other shows that I've been on. Um, Democrats don't want anyone to die.
No.
They want them to have a full, healthy lifespan, a successful working, career, enough to
Yeah, living
sustain
wages.
and enough to sustain themselves into a comfortable retirement. And that's what Democrats want. And we want you to have health care, and we want you to have autonomy over your own body, whoever you are, and we want you to be able to love whoever you love. I mean, fuck us, right? Oh no,
Well, it's
bleeding heart
freedom.
liberals.
It's
I
freedom.
mean, and Democrats deliver everything Republicans remove. I say it over and over again because the government is not supposed to be taking anything from us except our tax dollars, which are a way for us to continue to keep the country running. Linda McMahon, and not shutter the Department of Education because you don't understand math. What?
Well,
What?
they hate the pillars of democracy. That is
Well,
what
they
the
want to rewrite our
Democrats.
history.
Well, and that's what the Democrats need to message when the Republicans come after the Department of Education or health care or any other, the general welfare. And the Democrats need to message it as there they go again attacking the
Yes.
pillars of democracy.
Yes.
That's it, because they
Yes.
hate democracy.
Yes.
They hate
They really
freedom.
do.
They really want to drag us back. And this is the other thing the Democrats need to take. They're dragging us back to the system the founders fought a revolution to overthrow. They are not just undoing the New Deal or the progressive era. They're rolling back the American Revolution. Make no
And
mistake.
that's literally
what
the
they're
opposite
doing.
of why this country exists
Yes.
at all.
Yes.
So, and I've been saying this a lot in posts and just out and about, but those who refuse to learn from our recent history are dooming the rest of us to repeat it.
Yeah.
And I don't care to do that. We did that once already, and the vibe is very, like 5 years ago now, we were under a very heavy collective global sadness. We were cut off from each other. We couldn't be together. We were isolated in our homes. We were scared about our immediate future. We were uncertain about what was going to happen because of a global pandemic. And we have that same feeling now, but Trump is the global pandemic. He's the one. He's the one making us all sick. And he's made the Republican Party sick. He infected them with Russian propaganda and blackmail. Because let's go back to 2016 when the Russians hacked into the RNC and DNC servers and held on to what they learned about the Republicans and published what they found out about Democrats.
Right.
And that is how we get here today, because every single one of those Republicans that were threatened with blackmail are still worried that we're going to find out stuff about them. And I like, what is so bad? Shorting, and we've also like talked about this, and we can't say with any certainty what it could definitely be. But with someone like a Lindsey Graham or a Marco Rubio, unless there's a dead child somewhere, what did you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Did
just
you have
so
sex
pathetic.
with a boy?
It's
An
pathetic.
underage person? Did you kill
Right.
somebody? If you didn't kill somebody. Did you rape somebody? Did you rape a child? Because short of killing and raping a child, I think we could give you some space to explore.
It wouldn't matter. People wouldn't. It would just be who cares and whatever. Well,
to have
for
space.
normal people, not for the maggots, of course. I don't know what it is with them. They have no courage. It kind of goes along with the whole, large amygdala things that they
But they
are
did before.
fear-based. What's that?
And they did before that. They did before January of 2017. Before January of 2017, before Donald Trump was sworn into office for the first maladministration, as you call it, those Republicans were capable of standing up and speaking out against him very strongly during the campaign, pre-inauguration, post-inauguration. They were still critical of him.
Some of them.
Until some. And there's that video, if you look on YouTube, it's called They Knew.
Oh,
And there's like there's a bunch of people that you've even forgot about who spoke out against him that ended up, coming around and letting him control them. But it's fascinating to watch that because what they're saying about him is true. And it's still true.
Well, I mean,
everything that they've said. And so you
yeah.
show it to them, you're like, what changed? What could be so bad? Lindsey Graham is a great example of that, only because if you don't know pre-2017 that Lindsey Graham is gay, I can't help you, right? That's, you're not he's a confirmed Southern bachelor. We know what that means. We've heard stories about his ladybugs and his proclivity for, the younger, fit,
They
like
call
the way
him
he
Lady
drooled
Graham.
over.
The
Yeah, I know. I try not to
escorts.
do stuff. I know. I try not to go there,
Well,
because then you're shaming somebody for their true sexual,
shame. That
you know, and
that's his code name
lady.
in the
Well,
DC escorts. Call him Lady
yeah, yeah,
Graham. So
but that's
whatever.
for the gay community to use. I feel
Well,
like I
I'm gay,
can't.
so I can say it.
You can. You can. Okay, you can. I went with Leningrad Lindsay because to me, it's worse to be a
That's
traitor than
appropriate
anything,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Also appropriate. And that caught on back in the day, back in 2017. It was actually a #1 trend for a day that I created Leningrad
Oh,
Lindsay
that's good.
and Lapdog Lindsay also works for me because I like the alliteration and he did really turn himself into Trump's lapdog. He really, really did because he came back from that golf course that day going, hey, guys, he's really
I
not that
know.
bad.
And
And
just
he's been living
lying
inside
about,
of the bottle.
yeah.
Right. And he's been in a blackout. He's been blackout drunk on slow gin fizzes ever since. So,
I
or
know.
whatever his drink is. But
Just saying what a
I like
great
to think of him.
golfer he is, hyping up his
I mean,
golf game, saying he was like,
shut
oh,
up.
he hit a hole in one, and he did. It was
Yeah, my
like
mouth.
right
That was the
out
hole
of,
in one he
yeah,
hit.
right out of North Korea for real. But you know, what I wrote an article for the Political Voices Substack about the pathetic GOP bills that they're proposing while they're
yeah.
stripping, while they're coming for everyone's health care, while they're killing people, you know, and destroying democracy.
None of those are getting anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're not going anywhere, but it just goes to show you where they're at. They're trying to put his face, well, one of the bills is put Trump's face on the $100 bill, replace Ben Franklin, create a new $250 bill for Trump on the 250th anniversary of the country. How dare they put this traitor's face on anything? Rename Trump accounts and they have, you know, the Trump baby accounts. So that everybody who has a baby gets $1,000. Oh, that'd be really useful for the whole
Rename
week, right?
Dulles.
Yeah.
They want to rename
yeah.
Dulles after
Dulles.
him. They can name it Dullard. Name it
Right,
Dullard,
Dullard
Airport if you're
Airport.
naming it after him.
Yeah, the Trump
Jeez,
train.
you know,
They want to make
all of-
DC Metro the Trump train.
Shut the
I
entire
know.
fuck
I
up
mean,
with that.
and
No.
make his not just the parade. This is a whole other thing. They want his. This is New York Rep. Claudia Tenney introduced the bill to make Trump's birthday a national holiday, to recognize him as the founder of America's golden age. Did you know we were
Fuck
living in
and
America's
no.
golden age? Isn't
And
that
fuck and no, we
disgusting?
are not. We
I
are
mean,
not. I mean,
wow.
Guild.
Wow.
If you want gold because he buys all of that tacky shit and put it in the Oval Office, he like made someone run out to
Disgusting.
Hobby Lobby and get those thingies and a can of gold spray paint to make it look
It's
like
so vile.
you know, like his fucking bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that he hasn't replaced the chair behind the Resolute desk with his gold toilet, so that way he can be there and just be on the toilet. And I also think that's why he's so obsessed with Elvis. I think he's worried that he's going to die on
he
the toilet.
will. He will.
Like Elvis did, and be found slumped
That's
over on the
true.
toilet with his phone, like
If
on
only,
the
I
floor
hope.
within inches. I mean, I think I don't know if I think we have talked about it in this show. Like, if he's ever sick with anything, we're never going to know about it. Just one
Oh,
day he's
yeah.
going to be dead.
That's right.
One day it's just he's dead. And
we
also,
will know like a week later. Like that's what happened with
And they're gonna-
Henry the
they
Sixth.
never- And now I'm thinking they may never tell us how he died because they want to make sure it's not an embarrassment.
Right.
For him,
It-
post-mortem
right.
embarrassment.
He died
He,
peacefully in his
he died
sleep.
fighting lions.
Yeah, he was
he
working
died
right to
protecting
the
the White
end.
House.
Right to the end.
He died
was
at the border.
Right. He was at the border putting alligators in the moat. Right.
He was at the border. He was hanging up the razor wire and fell to his death.
He was
He was
protecting
fit as a
us
fiddle.
to the last second of his beautiful life.
He gave his life for his country.
Oh, I hate these people. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're the worst.
See, this is why we need someone inside the White House who's actually on our side, like someone to infiltrate the Trump administration and like
Right.
get in there and be like, no man, he died like Elvis on the toilet. That's how he died. I want that. That's
Don't,
just,
well, I mean, that's the
short
great
of
getting
that-
up morning. Yeah. So that's what I call the great getting
short
up
of
morning.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, short of that, I want him to hear the word taco every single day of the rest of his miserable life. I want someone to say it to him. I want someone to bring him a bag of tacos to the next press conference he holds. I want someone
That's
to.
so nasty of you. You're such a
I know I'm a
nasty
nasty
woman.
woman. It's my fault. It's my
What
fault. Oh,
nastiness! Don't ever say that again.
no, I'm
Nasty.
nasty.
Isn't that
There's a guy
crazy?
who's been yeah, I know. There's a guy who's been trolling me on Instagram, and I probably shouldn't even give him any
Oh,
legitimacy because
uh-oh.
he
You're
claims to have
feeding the
voted for Kamala, so that's supposed to be okay. But he's also like this total soy boy who's been harassing a woman on Instagram. So like,
sounds
whatever
like sure.
you think about what you think you don't know. And also his profile picture, his hair is down to his ass, and so is his girlfriend's, and so. I'm not inclined to really I don't really judge people by their appearances, but when I get harassed by a man on the internet, my first thing before I even respond is I go, and you should do this too. And if you're a woman online or you're a person who identifies as a woman and you're online, always verify and then respond. Like, do not give them energy unless you're willing to sit in that for a little bit. So this guy claims to have voted for Kamala, but he's harassing me because I dared make the claim that Joe Biden is more beloved than Donald Trump, and that's why Donald Trump is jealous of him.
Yes.
I don't think I need to
It's true.
quantify that in any way. This guy goes insane with these posts like, why would you answer this? And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you do this? Why would you think this? And why would you like we have gone over this and over this. Like, if somebody has a suggestion to eliminate Hamas terrorism from the planet, I think we'd all love to hear what that is. Because when you talk about Joe Biden is a war criminal, or you use genocide Joe, I'm like, fuck you, that's not true. Joe Biden didn't wake up every morning of his administration and go, who can I genocide today? That's what Trump and his fellow war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu are doing. They want to get rid of every last Palestinian in Gaza and flatten it and build hotels there. Kamala Harris would not have done that. So when I say that Joe Biden is more beloved, he is the man who gets spontaneous applause when he goes to the airport. He is the guy, right? We saw that just recently. Yeah. Remember when he went to Ireland towards the end of his final few months in office? And I was like, why would you come back? Why would you come back? They love him in Ireland. Meanwhile, they hate Trump all over the world. They hate Trump in Scotland. Thank you, Janie Godley. So,
right.
when we get these...
No, but when presidents traveled, there used to be they would be met with positive reactions all over the world, not just Biden, of course.
Correct.
But Obama, and we can go back, Kennedy.
Well, yeah,
sure. It wasn't. They didn't have to seal the manhole covers shut. That's what happened when Trump traveled in his first maladministration. And everything broke out in protests everywhere. That's why he was so impressed with Saudi Arabia when that was his first trip, both times, right? But Saudi Arabia, because it is a totalitarian state, a handmaid's tale, basically, they had no protests because they would be publicly executed. There's brutal repression and human rights, in the toilet. And he was so impressed with them because they were projecting his face onto buildings, and there were no protests. He's like,
that's why his face is on the USDA right now, by the way.
Oh, I know. It's vile.
Oh,
so, but then when he went to England, that's where he was met with the big giant baby balloon, and that they had to seal the mailboxes and the manhole covers. So, because people were pissed. That's
at least he can't embarrass us. He can't embarrass us as much this time because he's banned from traveling to 38 countries because he's a convicted felon.
So, I know.
That's why he was so excited to go to the Pope's funeral, because Italy was one of the countries he could travel to.
Right. I just wonder if anybody would have the balls to arrest him, though. I hope. Let his approval rate. Let him
jumping bail is a reason to get arrested.
Of course,
because he technically violates his bail anytime he leaves the United States. That's a violation.
Of course,
of his bail.
but he's different rules.
Don't let him back in the U.S.
Different rules. I mean, this is the convicted felon that's sending legal immigrants. That's capturing. Kidnapping legal immigrants while they're screaming, "My child is in school." The people have done nothing, who've done everything right, as they say. We're not against legal immigrants. We're just illegals. But that's, of course, not true.
No.
So
No,
yeah, I don't know.
I
They
hate
have.
I hate when they call them illegals. It just makes
I
me so
know.
angry because no human is illegal.
Well,
You can commit illegal acts. Obviously, but this
that's too
also
technical for.
brings
That's
us to the
too
Alina Habba
high-minded.
story.
Yes. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Alina Habba story is a good thing because the mayor of Newark, I just had it on my phone, but because it's on, there it is. New York Mayor Ras Baraka sues interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba for false arrest and malicious prosecution.
Good.
Yeah, buddy.
That's what has
That's
to
how
happen.
you do. And I'm sure LaMonica McIver will also be doing the same. She's got to be because
That's what
she
has
got
to happen.
arrested. And they're arresting somebody. They went into ICE agents went into Jerry Nadler's district office in New York and arrested one of his staffers.
Get out
Also,
of here. Oh my God. I
yeah,
didn't see that.
yeah.
There's so much
Yeah,
going on. I mean,
But tell us how it's really important that they put Trump's picture on the Treasury or
Yeah.
whatever their new distraction is, right?
well, this
And-
is good. I hope they keep pushing like this because
They need to. Well,
Yeah,
it's in the
not gonna be
courts where we're going to get.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. No, it's not gonna stand up. And these are the people that have the power to fight back. That's why I was hoping he would arrest Bruce Springsteen at the border as he threatened to.
But when he comes back from
Alas.
his European
still,
tour,
Is he still
Is he
on
back?
tour? I don't know. Let me look
think
it
he's
up.
still on tour.
Hmm.
I think he still isn't. Bruce has so much support, and
Well, that's what I mean.
I
We
mean,
need it. Mm-hmm.
Jersey represent. And I'm not like a huge Springsteen fan, but I mean, as a person who grew up in New Jersey and one town over from Bruce Springsteen, and actually one time waited on him at a restaurant on the
Oh.
Jersey Shore. Lovely. He's a lovely human being. Very kind.
Of course.
Good tipper. Good tipper, of course. But very humble. Smaller physically in person than you would expect, but commands that attention.
Yes,
because
he's still
Bruce
on
Springsteen.
tour. Yeah, so they're still
And,
out of the country. So okay, I hope he does
right.
because he
And the
did
man-
threaten him to arrest him for treason because he said that Trump is a traitor and that's treason apparently to tell the truth.
Let's all say it together. Trump is a traitor. Trump
Mm-hmm.
is a traitor to the United States, who has been owned by Vladimir Putin since 1987.
He
Let's
is
all also
That's
say
just a fact.
Trump is a convicted felon who was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 25 years. And who do you think Pam Bondi was protecting behind all of those redacted lines in those new binders? Because it wasn't Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I think that's another thing to push. Like, there are very few things that MAGA has to cling to at this time, which is kind of what I was getting at the beginning with the taco meme thing. Yes, the taco meme is stupid, and yes, it's funny, and yes, it's hilarious, and yes, it's something that's going to stick to them forever. But what it does is allow you to have conversations with MAGA people about the real stuff that they're mad, that they should be more mad about. And I hope that it does, because this is, it's only getting worse for them personally, and it's going to continue to get worse for them personally. And it's not just a meme that's going to embarrass them anymore. Like, what's happening, like the big beautiful bill is not happening because there's enough Republicans who are like, no, you're going to lose
Don't
there. And
count
so
them out though. They never stop. They're
I
like
know
the
but, like-
Terminator, like that. They never ever. They're still trying to undo Obamacare. It never stops.
I know, but right. And I talked about this with Hal yesterday. Like, they're not. I think this big beautiful bill is going to keep going back and forth between the Senate and the House, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it just dies because no one can agree on what the
hope
cuts
you're
should
right.
be.
I hope it dies.
Well, there are, I think, now enough Republicans who are going to vote it against it that'll have to go back to the House.
Well,
But,
that's always what happens anyway. But it's like,
Ron Johnson is against, but it's the big ones. Like, Ron Johnson is a major Russian asset, and he's against it. And he's on camera saying, "I don't care what Donald Trump thinks. I want to take care of my children and my grandchildren. I don't
Right.
care what he says."
Well, that
and Rand,
yeah.
Rand
Well,
Paul saying the emperor has no clothes. So it only
yeah,
takes a
Rand
couple.
Paul,
It only takes a couple.
Susan Collins, but that's why you have people like Joni Ernst out there lying about it. And that's what I wrote about in the Substack about Joni Ernst.
Yes.
When the one thing that people, which is very fascinating to me, how the corporate media always goes for the easy for the easy
Well, sure.
not even the substance, just the easy headline, because it's not just that she says that, of course, this is the Republican platform now, and it always has been, we're all going to die. They don't give a shit. So why even be in the Senate? Why even do anything, really? But
Money.
the fact that, money and power. But she is lying. No one on the corporate media pointed out that when she said that 1.4 illegals are going to lose Medicare, or they shouldn't be on it anyway, there are not 1.4 million illegals on Medicaid. There is a very extensive process for verifying citizenship. I can't talk. Citizenship status, and it includes presenting your documentation. So you cannot be documented. It's just a lie. Undocumented. You have to. It's not a self-verification. You have to verify that you are a legal citizen. What she's talking about are people who are legal immigrants, and also Americans who don't have documentation in order. 1.4 million of those will be kicked off, but they're not illegals. And there she goes. When this is what they do, they tickle those racist funny bones, and that is so evil. To use that frame what she's doing is lying to her constituents' faces. So,
and they know it.
Yes,
but they know it. They called her out for it.
I hope they know
it.
But
they booed her, and
yes,
they were yelling at her.
But here's the thing. And I was talking. I've been talking about this in every article I write about these monsters too. That what we need to do as Democrats is start pointing out that all of these Republican states are at the bottom of the barrel. They are poorly run red states. Every Democrat, when you mention red states, just put the poorly run qualifier in front of it, because that is the truth. Joni Ernst presides over yet another poorly run red state that is at the bottom of the barrel with health care, education. It's has a very high poverty rate. What she's doing is just even more, it's evil, because she's lying right to their faces. She's tickling the racist funny bones to get them to cut their own throats. And if that thing passes, there will be no rural hospitals in Iowa. They will close. She's hurting her constituents more and more. And so when the Republicans, I don't know how they show their faces in their communities, all the harm they do to their own people. And it's only because that's why, why do they keep voting for them? Because they're propagandized, and it's all racism. There was a thing on CBS I was talking about, I don't know when, whatever, maybe it was on one of the videos on Substack, that they were, I was hosting Mike Malloy's show, co-hosting, covering for him. But anyway, what was I saying? It went out of my head. Why was I going on about that? But
Joni Ernst in Iowa in healthcare and killing their own constituents, and they don't care because they hate democracy.
That's it.
And they're evil and greedy. Is basically what you're saying.
I guess that's basically summing it up. So, but there was a point to that. The Democrats need to start pointing it out, that they have to own it. I don't know why they don't. Just say that the poorly
performing red states.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was watching a CBS interview because they always go back and they have to check in on the maggots. How you doing now? This has been going on for fucking 10 years, Do you get what you want with your vote? How's your vote working out for you? So now they're all going back.
Really.
They never check in on normal people. They always got to check in on the maggots. How you doing?
They don't check in on normal people.
Right?
No, because I don't know. We're boring.
I don't know. It's like they validate and enable them and legitimize them. The only question they should ask them is what's wrong with you? Why did you vote for a traitor? But they asked this guy.
But they don't like it. They don't like it when you ask them those questions, because I do it every day.
Yes, and by doing that, by not doing it, they normalize this choice, which should not be normalized. But they they asked the guy, because he has a small business and it's tanking because of Trader Trump. And it's only been 100 days or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, do you regret your vote?" And the guy was like, "No, because before we had men and men kissing, and we never had that before, and all these trans people." And we never had that before. I mean,
Wow.
so that's
Wow.
the price.
The ancient Greeks have just entered the
It's
chat.
incredible. It's incredible. That's
what?
why they voted for
What?
their own demise, to
Wow.
shutter his own small business. I hope it works out for you, bud.
It's I think that we forget how poorly educated pockets of this country are just based on where they live in a rural area, and truth just doesn't reach them for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like basic truths, like here's why we celebrate, this holiday. Here's why this is, like basic stuff that people should know about the country they don't know. Like what you just said is insanity. So, just not, but that's what the Republican Party wants ultimately, is to be able to get away with all of their shit because their people don't understand how it works. So if the bulk of their voting base are people who have this much of a knowledge about civics and how government is supposed to run, that's why Trump said he loves the poorly educated, because they believe anything. It's easier than thinking for yourself. It's easier than questioning something. It's like, oh, I was promised this, but I got this, and this isn't it, And he said that he had the audacity when he was the last time he was talking to Zelensky, and he's like, you don't have any cards. And it's like, and Zelensky's like, bitch, I got all the cards.
Wait.
Like, right? So, like I was saying, like MAGA doesn't have a whole lot to cling to right now. And that is to our advantage, because now they're extra soft and snowflakey right now, because they have the taco thing. Then there's Zelensky showing off like a stud and showing what a true leader does, and shows what a president is supposed to be. So, and then there's the Epstein stuff. And I think learning about, and the Palantir stuff. Like, Elon Musk is so insane that he wants to defund the UN. I don't know why anybody listens to him. He's not a genius. He is a ketamine-cooked, unelected immigrant Nazi bureaucrat. He is the South African Trump. All of his companies lose money. His company, his car company kills people. His rocket companies, rockets blow up.
Another
he is not a
sociopath.
successful businessman. No, born on between third base and home is both of them. And so MAGA, I think, is being forced to see the reality, but doesn't want to admit it. And there's little that they can cling to, which is why the Epstein thing, I think, is such a huge thing for them, because it seems like a tangible, we know Epstein knew Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew, so maybe I'm going to brush my fingers against that to cling to a hope that there's something that we can use, because we're losing they don't have a whole lot of ammunition left to fight with.
Well,
they really don't.
Yeah, that's
so
why
that's
propaganda
old.
works. Yeah,
that's right, and that's why the controlling of the media, which is why again, Trump sharing on Truth Social that a QAnon propaganda bullshit thing about Joe Biden should be the top story, the top
times.
when you this is the same media that went after Joe Biden on the Daily for being old.
I know. It's just disgusting. I know.
I know. So it's up to us. Like someone like Simone Sanders is on it though. Like, she's talking about it in the right way. If you don't follow Simone, I really recommend that you do, because she's still on MSNBC and she's still killing it.
Yeah, she's good.
And she is not having any of the bullshit from this administration. And so her videos are great, and apparently the right-wing media is going after her now because she dared say something truthful. Like, it's just, call it like you see it, okay?
Yeah.
Trump's brain is gone. Nothing he says makes sense. He cannot complete a sentence. He will not read his daily briefings. This is mush. And this new round of pardons that just came out, he doesn't know these people that he's pardoning.
Oh.
Like the Chrisley people, he doesn't know them. He just knows that their daughter is blonde with big boobs and gave him $1 million.
Right. That's
okay?
it.
That's
all
what happened.
pay to play. Everything, you could
Right?
trace it back.
So-
They give a big donation, and then suddenly the
Right,
pardon
and that
comes.
meme coin dinner.
Yes.
And then there was the sheriff, the corrupt sheriff that got pardoned at the
Yes.
last minute before he went to
Well,
prison.
he was taking
That's-
bribes, so yeah.
I mean, he is a criminal, and now he has been pardoned because he gave. And then here's
He's
something
like
that's
Trump.
This is just right. And then here's another thing that's just like bone chilling if you're a thinking, feeling human. The nominee for the Surgeon General,
Oh, yeah.
what's her name? Caitlin Means? Is it Caitlin Means? It's something with a C. Her last name is Means. Didn't finish her residency. Doesn't have a medical degree.
Yeah,
and
she's
is
an
a
influencer.
Kennedy suggested by Robert F. Kennedy. And Trump was asked about her, and he's like, I don't know her. Just Kennedy recommended her. That's
Right.
not who should be. That's not how you pick a Surgeon General. Someone who doesn't have a medical degree should not be the Surgeon General of the United States. The media should be screaming about that. And so we need to. I mean, I think we touched on this last time,
crazy.
but I really feel like those of us in the independent media and everybody here who's on the Political Voices Network, we all have. Someone's knocking on my door.
Oh no.
Hold
Well,
on a second.
Okay,
Who
go
is
right
it?
ahead. Who is it? You better.
Who is it? FedEx? Do I have to sign for it? I have to sign for FedEx.
All
Keep
right.
the kids occupied for 1 second.
I
Just
got
talk
you.
to them.
Don't worry, I can do it. I can. Trust me.
Where's my microphone? Like, I'm not set up for this.
I know it happens to me sometimes. The bell rings and somebody's at the door. Well, anyway, so what were we saying? Republicans are unfit to hold leadership positions in a modern nation and are traitors. But the fact is, like I was writing in the Substack, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe to the Substacks because it's.
You know what this is? It's my
What
new
is it?
router.
Oh, okay.
It's my new router from
Wonderful.
Verizon.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Verizon. Thank you. By the way, By the Sound of Settling, a rock and roll love story available now at TaraDublinRocks.com. Anyway, the FedEx guy was, now he's famous. Thank you,
Oh,
FedEx guy.
Well, we didn't see him. We didn't
You
hear him
didn't.
either.
I don't, you know.
You should have
You
brought
couldn't
him
hear
in.
him either. Nah, he had shoes on. I don't let people come in with shoes. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. Back to what we were doing. How much time we got left? Oh, okay. We got about 10 minutes. Okay, cool. I want to let's roll through the chat and see what the kids are doing. We got 127. That's awesome. See, if 127 people bought my book today, that would make me so happy because nobody is buying Jake Tapper's Lying Crap book, and there's nothing bad about Joe Biden in this book, and there's sex in it, and it's a rock and roll love story, and everybody who reads it loves it. Okay. Oh, somebody was like, Tara, you should run for Congress. I think it was Pink Nightmare who said, which Tara? Which
I
Tara
know they
should run
keep
for
saying
Congress?
Tara. They have to say Devlin or Dublin if they want to
It's okay for
address
you to
something
call us
we've
by our
said.
last names.
Well,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to
I
if they want to point something out in particular, I should say, or
Yes.
talk to one of us in particular.
I would be a nightmare. I would be a nightmare candidate.
But people always
for
say that.
any-
Not to you. I mean,
They
not
always say,
about
"Why
the
don't you run-"
nightmare.
No, why
I
don't
mean
you run for
about
office?
yes, exactly.
I have heard that repeatedly because I can speak coherently about politics and passionately, and I know a lot of stuff about a
Right.
lot of stuff, but I don't know everything about everything, certainly. And if you put a 5,000-page bill on my desk to read, I'd be like, oh, please don't make me read that. I'm not a policy wonk.
They don't read
I'm not
it
a
either.
lawyer. I'm not,
No, I
that's
know.
not my background. I think I'm better in this kind of role where I'm being supportive and I'm telling you, I know about this Democrat and they did awesome stuff, and here's a Republican doing bad stuff, and here's what I'm doing, and here's what you can do. But you don't want me in Congress because I would. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be good as someone fighting for my constituents, because certainly I would be able to stand up and push back and all of that. But just my background, like if you went through my Twitter history and all of the fights I've had with MAGA people, and
Right.
there's not, I don't have anything in my past, like I don't have an arrest record. There's no, mug shot I'm trying to suppress or anything like that. But I think, like, particularly when you do something like that, you really have to give up a lot of your life. And I mean, both of my sons are adults in their 20s. I don't think they would want me to do that at all, because it would shine a light on their privacy that they are entitled to, because they're not the public facing people I would be. And I'm already enough of a public facing person And my older son has been better about it than he has a better sense of humor about it, about me yelling at Republicans.
Yeah.
Because it's like when he was in high school, his friends found out about my Twitter and they were like, your mom says the F word a lot on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
And at first Jack was embarrassed. And I said, you know what, go back to them and say, I can't stop you from following my mom on Twitter, but just don't tell me what she says. Like don't just don't tell me. I don't need to know. And then he started following me without me knowing. And then I was like, well, sorry, Jack, but this is who I am. And I'm always going to fight for what I feel is right. And everything Republicans do is wrong. And he was like, no, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. So, but if I was going to run for office, that would involve all of my family in one way or another.
Right.
And they are not good. They would never want me to do that. And I would never do that to them. Would you ever run for office?
Well, no, but then, people have said that to me as well, but I think that...
I understand why. I totally understand why. You would
Right.
I think you would be great at it too.
Well,
but again,
they asked that to Tom Hartman a lot too. I listen to Tom Hartman, and I love Tom Hartman.
Yeah.
He's great, and
yes,
but
is.
and he says this is what I'm good at. That's, and I agree
Exactly.
with myself. Like, this is kind of, I believe that the running for office is great, but and we need competent people and passionate people who know what they're doing and believe in the system that the founders fought a revolution to create and entrust to us, and are unapologetically fighting liberals. But this is also very important, what we're doing.
Yes.
The
More
getting
than
the
ever.
word out. Yeah, I mean, it's none of it is possible without the message, as we know. And I always point out that the American Revolution began in the tea shops with pamphleteers sharing the pamphlets of common sense, and which were, I suppose, you could say, the podcasters of their day. People would write pamphlets and
They were the
pass them
independent
around.
media.
Exactly. And they dared to dream about a world without an intergenerational aristocracy and a monarchy, and we can rule ourselves, which was a radical view at the time that could put you in prison. And in fact, many of the Enlightenment thinkers did go to prison. But and which is why in every authoritarian country they take over the media. So we're lucky right now that they haven't completely suppressed this, what we're doing yet, even though it is, we are definitely, put down in fact, Twisted Nerves Painting on the chat, who is one of the, one of my friends from the Tarabuster show. He said he had a hard time finding the Political Voices Network. Look for the show today. Yep.
Really, really.
And it's no
Really,
doubt
really.
this is what they do. They Elon Musk, all of these right-wing social media platforms they're owned by right-wingers, and at least in the very least corporatists, which is what is so disgusting about this time. What was really surprising to me, in fact, was how quickly the corporatists capitulated to this, to the fascism. And it goes to show you, just like in the 20th century fascist rise, the corporations, they were hand in hand with the Hitler regime, arming it, even though it was going against the Treaty of Versailles. They helped arm Hitler. They knew what he was doing. He was doing it out in the open and daring the other, the other countries to do something about it. And I hear the music. Oh my goodness!
Jeez.
What the heck?
I swear, this is the fastest hour of my entire life. It's our podcast. It goes by like that. And at some point, we might explore the ability to extend to a 90-minute based on Devlin's incredibly demanding schedule.
We could do it on occasion, at least for some
We'll
time,
do it on occasion, maybe when we get a guest, so that we don't have to, rush through. And
That's
you know
a
who
good
I want?
idea.
I want to start inviting people who are running for office. Maybe
That's a
even
good
for the
idea.
first time. We can get some first-time candidates on here and get them boosted. And also, I would want to start inviting other members of the independent, not other members of the independent media, yes, but members of the mainstream media as well, so we can create a relationship where we're sharing the information together So, those of you in the chat, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Come back and hang out with us again on Thursday. Same Sarah time, same Sarah channel. Until then, please sign up for all the Substacks, the Political Voices Network, Devlin's, mine, and please don't forget about The Sound of Settling, a rock and roll love story available right now at TaraDublinRocks.com in paperback, on Kindle, also as an Audible. It's AI, but someday I'll get my own. And if you buy The Sound of Settling, I'll send you a signed book plate. Just tell me, and I'll send you one. All right?
Yeah, someone in the chat mentioned that. They said, "How do I get the signed thing? The thing in a big."
Okay. The other thing that you can do, if you want like a physically signed book, you can Venmo me $25, and I'll sign a book and send it to you. You can also just order the book and then message me somewhere and tell me, "Hey, I bought your book." Blue Sky's a good place to message me. Message me on Blue Sky or on Instagram and tell me that you bought my book and give me your address, and I will send you a signed plate, because it means a lot to me that people buy my book and read it, and people love it and they want to share it. And there's I have written a follow-up because there was a demand, and Ellen Barkin loves it and Cameron Crowe loves it, and I just need to get that proper publishing deal and take it to the next level. So the more people share it, the better. And I understand if you can't afford to buy something right now, like if you can't afford a paid subscription, at least sign up for a free one, and then maybe eventually. No one understands better than I, like $10 can be a lot for someone, or $16 can be a lot. At some point or another, it's still to this day.
Yes.
Every day I'm like, what can I eat? What can I? Okay, my cats are eating, or am I eating? But anyway, it doesn't cost you a thing to share the link to my book and say this is the next thing on my to be read list. Doesn't cost you a thing. It doesn't cost you a thing to share the links to Devlin's Substack, this Substack, and the Political Substack.
Yeah, please.
And I hope that you are, because again, we are building community, and the best place for us to interact with each other, I would say, would be Blue Sky, Tara Dublin Rocks, Tara Buster, because it's safer there for us to interact without somebody coming up and going, "Oh, you're using the R word," or whatever ridiculousness they're up to over on the Bird app. Safe conversations and community building, both on Substack and Blue Sky. So, and again, thank you for indulging. Thank you. We appreciate you. Make sure you're tuned in on Thursday, and also to the Tara show on Friday. And we will see you on Thursday at the same time.
And I want to say thank you, Pink Nightmare, for your super chat. And
Lisa LKH.
Lisa LKH for being a member of the Political Voices channel.
That's exciting.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.